Hello, hello, and welcome to Lyre. This was the winner of the poll, so now I'm playing it. I don't know much about this game. Not really. I've seen this lad's character design before, and that is about as far as I've interacted with this brand. But see, I'm excited to figure out what's going on here, and I am distracted by this Anne Orlando ass looking city over here. But we'll just get in there, right? We'll see what this game has to offer. Type. Oh, enter for to use default name. Yeah, we're gonna use default. Sir Default. Do we know what the main character looks like? Do we play as the dog? Or the wolf? The canine. I don't know. My hands crush snow between their fingers as I slowly crawl my way out of the rubble. A numbness caresses my sides as my stomach lays flat on the cold snow. It's so dark that I can't see anything in front of me. I can hear clutter and chaos all around, but it's very faint, like a whisper. I lay my face into my arms and rest for a moment. My nose feels like it might just fall off. Breathe through. What? Breathing through it hurts. Okay. Look, you know how it is, guys. I'm bad at the reading. I can hear men shouting, some of them yelling in pain. My mouth tastes like metal. Suddenly, through all of the chaos, I hear a voice. Is it him? Get him out of there, quickly! Lyran soldiers? A pair of arms grab me under my armpits, and the movement makes it harder to hold on to reality. I slowly succumb to the sleep my body has been yearning for. Here, let me adjust the audio. Oh, do I have to click? Okay. And then another voice. It's muffled, as if someone's speaking to me through the wall. I can barely understand what they're saying. I try to ask what they were saying, but I'm pulled from my slumber as if a rope were tied to me. What consciousness, okay, invades my mind as I'm thrown out of my sleep. Oh, this is a cute background. Ooh, this is a nice color design. Like it leans more towards pink more than I would personally like, but this looks nice. It looks nice. I roll over on the cool bed sheets, feeling the air around me compress. My eyes open to a thick light pouring down over me, hitting the foot of the bed I'm laying in. I hear the distant clatter of metal along with voices. It feels like a cold fall afternoon, and there is a stuffy smell that lingers around me as I see dust particles dancing in the light. My mouth tastes dry. My heart starts to rhythmically beat into my chest, picking up pace with every second. I look down at my body and notice that I have thick bandages wrapped around my torso. I reach out with my hand and just around my stomach and feel a twinge of pain near the lower side of my gut. The lower right side? Yeah. My mind is racing with questions. I sit up, and the feeling of all of the blood rushing to my head makes everything go dark. I shift in the bed and slowly wriggle myself out from underneath the covers. I go to lift myself from the bed and stumble a bit as I steady myself on the cold floor. Have you ever, like, jumped out of bed and immediately just fallen to the ground? Like, you're so weak in that moment that your legs can't, like, support your own body weight. That happened to me once when I was sick, where I just, like, I feel terrible. I'm gonna jump out of bed. And then I'm on the floor. And I'm like, huh. I kind of laid there for a bit, right? And then I like crawled back into the bed and went to sleep. But I look around the decorated room I'm in. It is elegant, with a nicely sized bed, a desk, and a slightly open glass door that leads out onto a balcony where I can see the afternoon light shining down onto the floor. A few bottles and bowls of medicine are strewn about, laying on the cabinet in front of me. I slowly start to walk to the door when I suddenly begin to feel horrible. Everything seems to kick in at once as I'm slowly crouching to the ground. I crawl to the floor and lay there for a second, waiting for it to pass. Oh, look at this small boy, look at this lad. He's got, look, a beak. I appreciate that. As I lay there, feeling my insides twist around and dance in my body, the door opens, and I'm met with a creepy figure in a dark green robe, wearing a pointed mask and a hat. They look as if they were about to do something, but stop in the doorway. I feel their gaze fall on me from behind the dark goggles. You're awake. Good. Yes. He stutters this out with much effort in an odd voice. Oh dear. Wait here for a moment, please. I'll be right back with help. He pranced and stumbled back through the doorway, leaving it slightly open and his feathery tails floating behind him. All I can do is lay there as I hear him scuttle off, calling someone's name. I start to feel a bit better, and the squeamish feeling subsides slowly. Just as the cold floor starts to feel nice, I hear muffled voices from outside the door, and one of them I recognize as the bird, and another seems rather gruff and annoyed. Of course, the minute I leave for a drink, something happens. How long has he been awake? I don't know. He was just lying there on the floor. Same. Is he okay? Well, not really. He seemed to be in some pain, but that's expected. Or maybe he was just scared of you. What are you getting at? The mask makes you look ridiculous. It's a safety precaution. I hear the footsteps and voices get closer until they're right outside the door. Oh, okay, so this is the boy I keep seeing. Mainly just in the key art, but okay. All right. You've never caught me wearing one of those. The short-cloaked bird shuffles into the room carrying a bag. Walking behind him is a wolf man of sorts. He is very tall and muscular, almost having to bend over to walk through the doorway. He closes the door behind him. His right eye is scarred, and he has a semi-annoyed expression on his face, contrary to his tail slightly swishing right to left. His clothes is simple yet elegant, a large, white, and bulky with fur trimming and metal plate armor. Okay, we got there. A large cape draped behind him with a blue interior. I see a symbol on the breastplate, which I can somewhat recognize as the king's family sigil, a pair of antlers stretching high. He is cloaked with dark brown fur, which is very fluffy around the neck. His eyes trail around the room, landing on me. Then he walks forward and begins to speak. Do you need any help? I nod my head. He stands awkwardly for a moment before walking forward, his padded feet thumping against the smooth floor. Here, let me adjust the audio just slightly. The wolf then proceeds to kneel down and gently reaches out to pick me up. He pauses before hesitantly touching me, reaching under my legs with his paw and then reaching with his other arm around my back and grips my shoulder. The wolf lifts me up and adjusts me in his grip so that I don't fall. His neck fur grazes against my face as he carries me over to the bed and lays me down in it, gently reclining me back against one of the large pillows. I mumble out some appreciation. Richard? Richter? Is this Richter? Richter? Is this Rick? How is this name pronounced? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. I will have recorded like 80 videos before this first one comes up, but you know how it is. Thank you. He grunts in response. God, Leffy, it's fucking cold in here. At least make him decent and give him a shirt to wear. Clothing would mess with the bandages, and fresh air would do him some good. Besides, how are you cold? I'm not, but the floor feels like ice. I'm sure that he's fine. I sit up in bed with some hesitation and open my mouth to speak. Who are you? The two turn and look at me as Leaf? Leaf Life? Makes a motion to speak. The wolf places a paw on his shoulder. My name is Ryle. Ryle? Lyle? Lyle. Is that how it's pronounced? Lyle Reed. I'm the commander of the Royal Guard, and this is the royal family's physician, Leaf. He says this with a certain twinge of proudness, his tail swishing slightly. Yes, I'm sure we can dispense with the formalities for now. Do you remember anything before the crash? I look down at my torso, and the two connect. Oh, that's what happened. You can't remember? He has a curious look on his face, as his eyes stare into mine with extreme intensity, while a leaf scuttles over to the bedside table. Kind of. It's all a bit vague. Here, have some water. A leaf walks over to me, carrying a small goblet of water. I accept it cautiously, bringing it to my lips, taking a short drink. Slowly, it all starts to come back to me, as if I just woken up after a horrible dream. I was on my way north to the Kingdom of Lyre as an ambassador for the Kingdom of Lyre. What does that say? Fantasy names are hard for me. Regular names are hard for me. During a cold and rainy night on the 11th day of travel, as we were nearing the outskirts of the kingdom, I remember minding my own business in the small closed-off cart. Suddenly, there was a loud rumbling noise and shouting. That's all I can remember. I can't really remember much of what happened, just everything before blacking out. On the mountain pass, just outside the city, there was an avalanche. It wiped through most of your small entourage and killed some men. When our rangers came upon where it happened, your cart and wagon were almost decimated. You had a piece of splintered wood lodged into your side. Thankfully, it didn't hit anything vital, and you seem to have recovered well over the past 4 days. While Lyle rants about how the mountain pass is too dangerous to take anymore, I look down at my side and feel the bandages. It's painful, but not enough to bring a wince through my body. I was out for 4 days? Aside from the occasional stirring in your sleep. I quickly try to... That was quickly, right? Yes, okay. Shake off the thought of someone watching me sleep. That would have been pretty scary, waking up in the middle of the night to a 6.5-foot tall wolf in the corner of an unfamiliar room. Well, I hope that hasn't cut into anything important. Don't worry. Things have been quite slow lately. There hasn't been much being discussed, and we're still waiting for the ambassadors from Dries. He falls silent, at first staring out the window behind me, before his eyes fall back down. His tail swishes slightly, and after a long, awkward pause, he speaks again. The king has assigned me to be your personal guard. The statement surprises me. I was not expecting the king to assign me a guard, let alone the captain himself. For some reason, on my way here, my imagination led me to think of a king who was rash and dismissive and had no time for political nonsense. I thought I would be completely out of his mind. Wait, I thought I would be completely on my own. On my own. Okay. Wow, I completely rewrote that sentence, didn't I? I apologize. It's you know how I am, guys. And that's usually how it goes. As I'm thinking this, a Leaf moves over to the other side of the room and fiddles with something in his bag. I'm sure that you will do a fine job, sir. I'll make sure to give my thanks to the king. Lyre grimaces a bit, and his nose gives a small twitch. You don't have to refer to me as such titles. Lyre is fine. I give him a slight nod. This certainly isn't the introduction I had hoped for. One moment, I'm sitting in my cart heading out around the mountain pass, almost to my destination, where I would be received by the castle staff and possibly even the king himself. Instead, I wake up in my new chambers, unfortunately having missed everything important for my arrival. And as kind as these two are, the situation I find myself in is less than preferable. I sigh and shake my head. Well, as long as I haven't missed out on anything important. My thoughts still dwell on the crash. I haven't really had enough time to let it settle in that people just died, that I almost died. It's a shame that avalanche happened, and I'm very thankful that your rangers were able to save my life and many others. Lyle gives a slight smirk of acknowledgement, and I can already tell he's a bit modest, even if his tail is sweeping the ground. It's their job. A Leaf struts over to me with a small bowl of some weird, mushy substance. It looks familiar, but I haven't had to take that much medicine in my life. Here's something to ease the pain. This is most likely the last time you'll have to take it, considering you've healed very fast already. I stare down at the bowl in discomfort as a Leaf drones on about the unique healing process innate to humans, along with some other stuff I don't care to focus on. I take the small bowl and drink down the strange mix. It has a thick consistency. The texture is like eating sandy mud. Not that I've ever done that before. The taste, however, is not as bad as I thought it would be. It has a savory flavor that's very hard to describe. It's still not pleasant enough for me to thoroughly enjoy it. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a look at your bandages and also see how your recovery is coming along. I look down at my side and lift the covers a bit. Sure, I guess. A Leaf walks around to the other side of the bed and begins to awkwardly unwrap the bandages with his gloved hands. When I caught Lyle watching from across the room, he quickly averts his gaze. He certainly is expressive, though he tries to hide it. He's got those big eyes. Leaf finishes unwrapping the bandages, and I finally get a good look at the wound. It looks a bit messy, a dark red color around the skin, and the scars left behind isn't pretty. It's coming along nicely. He's gotta be kidding. He takes a damp sponge and begins to lightly dab and rub at it. I see the wound starts to clean up nicely, and after a minute, Leaf rubs some weird cream onto it with a sponge, and he seems to be done. Lyle's turned around, meekly fidgeting with something on the desk. I'm surprised to see that you're getting better very fast. You should be able to walk now without risk of opening up the wound. Just try to take it slow. How can I take things slow when everything's happening so fast? That's good to hear. Thank you. Leaf seems to be happy to hear that his efforts are appreciated, as I can hear his tail sweeping, slightly lightly, flipping up and down, rhythmically tapping against the ground for a second. I'm always happy to help. Let me know if you need anything else. And with that, he picks up the bag and makes his way to the door before turning to Lyle. I'll leave the rest to you. Okay. I think I'll end the part here. This was a decent introduction so far. A little long for my taste of being in one room, but I'm an impatient person, right? I'm like, I want my main character to be cartwheeling down these halls. Uh, but I look forward to actually like meeting the cast of this, and maybe I'll like this wolf. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know that. How's my track record for liking the main love interest in these games? It's high, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys around.